get another
Amazing evening, Nigerians. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us again. Welcome to Updated Precious. Another beautiful day. So, somehow I don't cure my mental health small. So, I think I'm getting used to this Nigerian problem. Sometimes my head too may not be able to take it, and then it just drives me crazy. But then we're here to do what we have to do to ensure that we keep pushing to get our country to where we want it to be. Welcome to the show. Another beautiful day for us to talk about things where they happen for inside Nigeria. My name is Precious India, and it's a Thursday, so we have Dr. Katch in the building. I'm coming. But make a quickly run on through the things and where they happen for inside Nigeria. As it is a tradition, make a run through some of the updates then. Sorry, I couldn't get you a quick update today, but if I have time later in the night, I will still bring on a quick update. Now nothing happened now. So finish the show. I will bring quick update because not be all the matter that will happen today we talk about. So I'll bring you a quick update later today. But let's just go straight to some of the things that happened today. So Rivers Assembly don't finally halt impeachment proceedings against former and deputy Ngozi. So no more impeachment again. Well, that drama now one of the things in which affect your mental health if you pay attention to them too much. Tinubu signing Electoral Act within 20 hours of passage shows reform was a scripted sham. This one, according to social media users. In fact, people come to ask the question and say, hey, read them at all. Did he even read what he signed? Because, or okay, maybe all along they're waiting them plan. So that's why they got all the APC National Assembly members to agree to what they wanted them to agree to. And some people call the one that said these same APC senators, were they not the same people that were in the House of Reps when they passed that same bill initially, adding the real-time transmission initially? So as it reached Senate come out and then self then come back again, come out their own during when they want to join together. Well, people say be like say na plan where they get all along. Meanwhile, your president said, say this electoral act when he signed, they say they push Nigeria forward. In fact, Akpabio and the best thing Indo ever do for life is that this electoral act is the best thing that has happened to Nigeria, that it is second to none. Second to none, no electoral act reach him again. Well, ADC chieftain Kashim Imam ends 36-year friendship with Tinubu over worsened leadership failures and injustice. He said the way things happen for Nigeria. I watched my hand come out like Pontius Pilate, but waiting come out concerning Tinubu. Now, so the man talk. In transmission, it was possible in 2023, still achievable now, but waiting can't change now. Senator Ume Nainde asked that question. In fact, since most of the senators were elected with electronic transmission of results, waiting can't happen today. Meanwhile, as it gets to do with e-transmission, Peter Obi may be pushing for direct primaries, a new electoral act. Peter Obi may be pushing for direct primaries in ADC. This is according to Buhari former aide Bashir Ahmed, since he said they adopt direct primaries and consensus candidacy. Excuse me. So moving on to other issues as it happened for inside Nigeria, Ramadan Hizbah arrests 9 in Kano for allegedly eating in public. How dare you eat in public when others are fasting? You don't know that even if you're not a Muslim, you're not supposed to let Muslims see food. You cannot eat in public when others are fasting. You don't know. Well, they arrest 9 people, say they eat during Ramadan. How dare they eat during Ramadan? Okay, we'll bring you more stories as they get to do that. Meanwhile, Patu told me 2021 battle between Nigerians and Tinubu. Now waiting to talk. He said 2027 said a battle between Nigerians and Tinubu. Patu told me condemns Electoral Act amendment as pattern of advanced election rigging. There will be war if EFCC does not stop prosecuting non-APC members. Bala Mohammed had said that before, but I'll remind you again. Under Tinubu government, Nigeria becomes global hub of worst hunger crisis with over 31 million Nigerians in acute food security. This, and according to new reports we just come out now, 31 million Nigerians, they suffer acute food security right now. Meanwhile, Nigerian military reportedly makes fresh arrest over coup plot against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Fresh arrest. Terrorists invade palace, kill monarch in Akure after failed abduction. So they kill the monarch as they try to abduct him. This is crazy. Ondo State, Ondo State here, Akure, you know far again, no. Now where this thing don't they happen? Now terrorists invade palace. Palace. Yeah. Okay, make I move on to other matter. May not be like that to the shout. Make on no vex. Okay, moving on. Lukarawa terrorists kill 34 in deadly coordinated attack on Kebbi communities. 34 people for deadly. They say a coordinated attack for Kwara communities. Now they use lambast keep people anyhow. In fact, another community there for Kwara where they don't tell us if they not pay amount of sorry, not be Kwara. The Kebbi communities. Another community for other communities for Kebbi, they don't tell us if I not pay this amount of money, we go show on a shege banza. Say they go deal with them. And that community don't already get in panic. Boko Haram terrorists threaten Kebbi community with imminent attack. Demand 100 million naira zakat payment. I beg what be zakat. Wait, what am I asking? Dr. Katch is here. He'll tell us. Say then go pay zakat or less then go attack them. And then Supreme Islamic Council no go come out, come condemn this one. Say no, it's not our religion or this zakat not be sort of concern our religion. No, and I see the problem. All right, let's move on. Moving on very quickly, families of military officers accused of plotting coup against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they don't they cry out to them. So, oh, yeah, I'm not going to release my people. They decry delay tactics ahead of trial, saying that delay tactics, nine government they do ahead of their trial. Meanwhile, Nigerian troop kill top Boko Haram commander, arrest drone supplier. Very good, great news there. NSA Nuhu Ribadu accused of unlawfully detaining a woman for 10 months now for recording alleged romantic video call with Tinubu. Yeah, she recorded romantic video. I beg this matter, I get as a bit. NSC Ribadu accused of unlawfully detaining a woman for 10 months now for recording alleged romantic video call with Tinubu. Well, this according to how Sahara reporters use reporter. And they come back. Okay, we'll come back. Pregnant woman fighting for life after Lagos police officers knock her off motorbike in Ajegunle. Wow. Wow. Wow, things we see in Nigeria. And then President Tinubu requests to use helicopters from Germany, from German Chancellor to boost Sahel security. Then moving on, ICPC confirms detention of former Kaduna Governor El-Rufai over fresh proof. Say, I see they come over EFCC trap. ICPC, bam, say, oh yeah, come back, come and tell us. You say what's happen again with waiting on the do to tape. I've been a tap phone. Nigerian Senate majority bent on undermining transparency. Senator Dixon accuses colleagues over electronic vote clause. In fact, he dropped messages on that behalf, and the team paying well as he dropped those messages. Senate President Akpabio says Nigeria's new electoral law is first of its kind since independence. Since independence, we never ever get electoral law we did like this. I don't know what I go tell Akpabio, sir. With all due respect, sir, you lied. You lied, sir. You lied because even the one Buhari pass come better pass this one now. Well, make I keep quiet. Sorry, make on another vex. Tinubu ends NNPC's 30% management fee on oil revenues, others direct payment to Federation account. Well, all of this matter and more on IBC will get for your domots this evening. And I'll bid you a warm welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining us in the studio now, Dr. Katch and Dr. Katch, good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I greet your audience
and we
and
greet you
whoever may
too.
be here now.
And we greet you too. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
very
and
much.
welcome, sir. All right, so
Thank
a
you for
lot of
having me.
things they happen for inside Nigeria. And we started this week with the drama surrounding the Electoral Act and the drama will happen for inside National Assembly. Now, the main thing where they cause problem, now the proviso where they put say we go fit use manual from EC8A form to use override the e-transmission of results to IREV. There are so many questions we have to answer. First, why would we spend the kind of money we're spending, budget we're spending on INEC, especially on technology, if there is not use of technology after all? Or if at the end of the day, manual will still override technology, then what's the need? That's one. Two, the House of Rep, after the public hearing on the Electoral Act, been done adopt, say they agree, say we go do e-transmission. Now, when the thing reach Senate, the thing can't get K-leg. As the thing come back from Senate, reach the time when they go harmonize them, House of Rep contact say, we say we need to do again. The Congress saying that the Senate version, 9 they go pass. It led a lot of House of Rep members, opposition members to stage a walkout that they would not agree because, I mean, we had already passed this thing before. We had already agreed on this thing. So we had the problem won't come start from. That's why they started shouting, APC ole, APC ole. They come out for inside this thing. You know, reach 20 hours, 24 hours long. Wait, we say, then pass this thing, we get as it do, get Kulukere like this. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't consent. He don't sign them. Sharp, so fast. People can't say, hey, it be like saying I waiting to don't get for mine since. Now make it sense. Make I just get some of your thoughts for this thing where they happen. Because a lot of people don't come and come talk, especially former IRA Commissioner Mike Guinea come talk, say this, say in fact, one of the reasons why make we needed would be the fight for democracy. Now, because of say we had the executive, which was the military government at that time. We had the judiciary, but we did not have the people's representative, will be the legislative. So now waiting make could be the fine will fight military. But if we can't get executive legislative, we can't be like say that they stifle the mouth of the people. How can you have public hearing on electoral amendment bill or electoral act? People tell you this is what they want. At the end of the day, your party's influence or your party's need can supersede waiting people want. That's not the one. And on the other hand, he talk, in fact, he lambasts judiciary. He say, as we stand now, say judiciary don't finish. Because nothing judiciary fit do for us again, as this case take day like this. Once they do waiting, they feed because network feed decide say no go day the whole of that day, and nothing judiciary go do. But let me take your thought very quickly, sir.
I think I hear a lot of cry, lamentation in your report.
Yeah, so
But
plenty people dey cry well, sir.
I think there are reasons they are lamenting. Well, they have to work harder next time.
Hmm.
But it doesn't mean that the struggle stops. No, it doesn't.
You think this is not discouraging because a lot of people are feeling discouraged, are feeling distraught. There's disquiet in the land. People just feel that Nigeria has been captured and we're helpless. There's nothing we can do. So, do you think the system is
I
still
don't think. I don't think so. I don't think
okay?
so.
Tell us how do you why do you think it's
These
redeemable and
these
how can it be
are
redeemed?
these are the forces that are reacting towards the new realities in Nigeria. The new realities in Nigeria is the United States have come here. But there are also those who will want to hold on to power at all costs
Hmm.
until they run into trouble before beginning to do things in different forms. It is sad where we are. I bet you.
So you think that there are people who want to hold onto power at all
Oh yes,
costs?
that's what you're seeing right now. They know that we have successfully done manual um, migration to the electronic transmission.
Yes, which was established in
And when
2020
we did
Electoral
that,
Act.
they
Hmm.
now found that electronic transmission was very revealing and it would not allow the government to control the results. That's why they are fighting, because they don't think that the government is popular enough to be voted for by the people.
But sir,
So
why would they think so?
that's
Eh,
well, I
because
wouldn't
they have all the
understand.
governors, so about 32 governors now.
No, no,
Fintini has
no.
just joined them.
The governors don't.
Alex Otis is preparing to join them. That's what we heard.
The governors don't vote. It's the
Eh.
yeah, it's the people who vote. The governors can defect. It happened during Goodluck Jonathan. He had them all. But when the people vote against you, it's a different issue. That's the reason why they're trying to also intercede and undermine the peaceful transmission of results from station A to station B, in this case, from the booths to the collection centers. If they are done by electronic, it means you enter it into the Beavers machine, and then as the Beavers machine catches it, it's, it is deemed legally to have been transmitted. Good. The machine has capacity to, if not transmit in the first 5 seconds, it will transmit thereafter, maybe in 1 hour or in 30 minutes, or if there is no network where it is being loaded.
Absolutely. That was what
But
Oga
the
Makuza
minute
told
you
us.
drive the equipment to anywhere that's network, it falls in. So it remains the best because it is loaded real time in front of everybody at the collection center, at that particular booth. where the results are generated. So it's like the results are generated, you take them, everybody look at it, they agree with what the figure, and then it's a figure. Since it's a figure, you now put it into that electronic format that transmits results that are transmitted from this place where the results are generated are mostly very likely to always be genuine, better than the ones that have been taken away to somewhere else where other, manual inputs are then done. That's wrong. Generate it here, let everybody see it, and if they agree, you feed it in, send it in front of everybody. That's what it is. If
But
it
why is it
doesn't go
so difficult for
immediately,
us to do that? Why do you think it's been difficult for our politicians to consent to
we
this?
have done it. We have done it. Currently, the country is under state capture
Here,
from a Sunni minority, and the United States intervention has frightened them because they were all Fulani Sunnis. So there are
mm,
other instruments of control they still have that we have not yet dismantled. Yes, the physical capture with their militias that has ended with the US coming here because the Nigerian military couldn't protect the Nigerian citizenry. They were still being killed as Nigerian military, and the government were in denial, making them complicit. So that's what happened. So also in the structures of the superstructure of state, they are also embedded there. That has to take us time to deal with the Fulani. The Fulani have taken over so much space of what we are that they have now visited violence, which has been arrested with the US intervention.
but it is not the Fulani that is in government. It is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and people are saying
No,
that he's the
no,
one
no.
who is
It's
insisting to
because
continue in power.
the Fulani put him there
We're
because they were
losing you.
relinquished power. Let's say in our election, they under Buhari, it was the Fulani cabal. That's why they're fighting him now, because he's not doing what they thought he should do, that they gave him power. And he wasn't quite happy how he was treated before he ultimately bought the power. They didn't give him, he bought it. So as he refused to include them in government, fight started. So the
But
Americans have
Nuhu
taken,
Ribadu is a Fulani man, and he's in government.
it doesn't
Nuhu
matter.
Ribadu is
Nuri
quite a
Badu,
of
Nuri
sir.
Badu is just, Nuri Badu is a select man. He could be there and he could be used to push away the other ones, which is okay if you ask me. He still gave them space, but you can see with them in security services, ministerial positions, they fully war. So even if they were so strong that the president was afraid, he was in denial.
We can't, I don't know if it's from my end, but your audio is cracking. Your audio is cracking.
Ah,
Something is breaking up.
sorry, please. I
Mm.
whatever it is. I hope this. Is it better now?
It's, I don't. Were you trying to get a call or something because it started cracking at some point? But go ahead, sir.
I can feel it also. I wonder how it will be better. Do you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead, sir.
It's much better. So I think, as I was saying before, we have to understand this thing holistically and how things are interconnected. We are lucky the Americans have come in to save us. It was being done
Your
by
audio,
the Fulani
your
nation.
output is so bad, sir. I don't know. Maybe we'll try to have you rejoin us again. Your output is really bad. Maybe we'll have you rejoin
That is
again.
what
I don't know. Ouch. Sincere apologies. All right, Nigerians, let me quickly remind you what your president said earlier as it gets to do with. Oh, before I even remind you, okay, well, let me remind you what he said earlier. Let's take a
We
listen to him.
start this Ramadan, we know the teaching that it brings to us. Oh, we understand, but I must reiterate the principle is to get to be closer to God, to do goodness to people, to share love and faith, to forgive sins. I say, if I sin, forgive me as Nigerians.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when Ibi say they start in first iftar prayer, and then people don't they talk about that. But that's not even all. I wanted to tell you exactly what he said when he was signing the Electoral Act, because he praised the Electoral Act. We thought, it's too good. This Electoral Act there, and the best thing we say we don't get like this. Say with this one. Now, what to make I got to Akpabio also praise the Electoral Act. But before I go to that, let me quickly let you in on what Siriake Dixon said about the Electoral Act, because he fumed and he did really say a lot about the Electoral Act. In fact, make us see what I will get that in tweet show now while Dr. Katch rejoins us very quickly. Let's see if he's rejoined us. Okay, so whilst he rejoins us, make a quickly show now waiting Siriake Dixon talk. I hope that I have that here. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So let's see. Okay, so that's what he said. So Siriake Dixon talk say the majority say they want scatter what did they call them democracy for inside Nigeria. Senator Siriake Dixon has accused the Senate majority of being bent on undermining electoral transparency after he voted against the controversial proviso he believes could weaken the mandatory real-time electronic transmission of election results from polling units across Nigeria. Now, in a statement released today, Wednesday, Dixon disclosed that he voted against the inclusion of the proviso during plenary on Tuesday, warning that it could be misapplied to dilute the gains made in strengthening the electoral process. Now, yesterday at the Senate plenary, I voted no to the proviso that has the capacity of whittling down the mandatory electronic transmission of election results from the polling units in Form EC88. Sorry, EC8A, he said. Now, he said, as I have explained severally, this provision adds nothing to the law, but has the capacity to be misused, misunderstood, and used to undermine electoral integrity and transparency. Now, the former Bayelsa State governor argued that the Independent National Electoral Commission has already demonstrated the technical capacity to electronically transmit results in the vast majority of polling units in Nigeria nationwide. Before now, we hear about over 90% of the polling units then feed they covered with network. So what thing can happen now? We will not get. Now, I say my view is that INEC has already explained that it has the capacity to transmit election results in over 90% of polling units. Now, he maintained that in the rare cases where electronic transmission may not be possible due to communication challenges, the electoral body could address such situation through detailed regulations rather than legislative amendments. So this one will do so, follow at all. Now, he even posted this alongside a video of him arguing in the house. We could take a look at it in post.
Okay. We are set men in this country. Don't misrepresent us. Don't. Please.
No proviso.
What we are saying is that we are disagreeing with the proviso.
Those opposed to the proviso. Those opposed to the proviso. Can you now stand up and raise your hand? Count. I think there are only 3 or 4. Huh? Senator Victor Ome. No, he voted for the proviso, so don't distract him. The result is as follows. Senator Wadada, some mothers do have them. But continue. No, Senator Wadada was on it, so let me. Leader, allow me to announce. Allow me to announce this result. The results have just tumbled in from the IRF. So let me. The results are as follows. Those who do not want any proviso are 15 in number. And those who want the proviso are 55 in number. And so the proviso says,
all right, so out here,
yes.
I thought we had just seen Dr. Katch just shortly and lost him again. So that's the part of the drama where basically happened before the house, and it was a very chaotic scene as we see that much of noise and a lot of them they complain say they no go agree, but unfortunately that's what the matter take be for inside the house. And a lot of people don't talk say waiting if we say we go fit to make sure say we carry our country go to the place where we say we won't see. Now a lot of other people have also complained, like Senator Victor May has also spoken about it, and he did say that prior to this time we did have quite a number of people. Most of the people who were voted into the house were voted through the electronic transmission of results. How come it don't reach time where we say we need them now? All of a sudden, it don't become a problem for us. Let's take a listen to him.
In 2023 general election, all the results were uploaded successfully. We are 109 senators. We have 360 members of the House of Representatives. This election took place with the presidential election on the same day. And all of us, 469 of us, came to the National Assembly through electronically transmitted polling booth results to the IRF portal. So if we were able to achieve it in 2023, why should somebody in 2026 say that it is no longer possible? What has happened to the infrastructure with which those transmissions were done successfully in 2023? And we arrived in Abuja here, 469 of us, through that process. So somebody is trying to be economical with the truth, trying to make a case to sustain the sabotage, because this is sabotage. And all of us, 469 of us, came to the National Assembly through electronically transmitted polling booth results to the IRF portal. So if we were able to achieve it in 2023, why should somebody in 2026 say that it is no longer possible? What has happened to the infrastructure with which those transmissions were done successfully in 2023? And we arrived in Abuja here, 469 of us, through that process. So somebody is trying to be economical with the truth, trying to make a case to sustain the sabotage, because this is sabotage.
All right, so that's what Senator Victor May had to say earlier when he was saying they talk about this e-transmission and the drama we surround them. But beyond that, the Senate don't talk vehemently. Say they sure say that the best thing we be say happened to us, and the result was done in good faith, and it was the best thing that Nigeria would have done at that time, because Senate President Godswill Akpabio don't talk. So this particular make I even get the news directly, so that's a hair. So Senate President Godswill Akpabio has declared that the National Assembly has met the aspiration of Nigerians with the newly amended Electoral Act signed into law by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Say everything we're waiting on a define since. Say the Senate don't give on a right now. Say because now waiting on a talk during the public hearing. They do now, insisting that the legislation will usher in more transparent, inclusive, and credible elections in the country. Now, Akpabio spoke on Wednesday yesterday, shortly after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has accented the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, dismissing criticisms from what he described as politically motivated individuals and groups, and stressing that lawmaking must not be confused with noise making. So that's him calling people who are, protesting against what they did, especially the proviso, as noisemakers. Please
happy and satisfied that we have been able to interpret the intentions and the yearnings of majority of Nigerians, not those who are politically motivated, not few people who make noise. Noise is different from lawmaking. And I always say, no matter what we did in the last 2 years, we went to retreat in Lagos, we went to retreat in Ibadan, everywhere. Those things were just mere consultations. The final outcome of what was amended happens in the plenaries of both chambers. And we felt in the last 1 month that we have done a lot. And even the Senate, for instance, we sacrificed even the holidays. The Mr. Speaker had to call back members who were on a bit of a break from plenaries, from budget sessions, to come back and undertake this all-important national assignment. That's why I said we are very satisfied.
Okay, so that's what he had to say. While we'll wait for Dr. Katch to join us, let me quickly run you through some of the other issues. He's having a bit of challenge, but he's joining us right away. Let me quickly run you through some other issues concerning the Electoral Act, as I don't get within or other issues generally for Nigeria. So, Rivers State House of Assembly has stopped the impeachment of proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the Deputy Governor Ngozi Odo. According to TVC News, the House adopted a motion to halt the impeachment process on Thursday today, during its resumed sitting in Port Harcourt. The development is not unconnected to the recent intervention of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Just to let you know. Now, Nigerians are saying that social media users have criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for signing the newly amended Electoral Act less than 20 hours after it was passed by the National Assembly, describing the speed of the process as evidence that the entire reform was a scripted sham in the first place. Now, Nigeria's latest amendment to the Electoral Act, signed into law by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu less than 20 hours after the National Assembly passed it, has triggered an intense national debate, with opposition lawmakers, civil society groups, legal experts, and young voters accusing the government of undermining electoral transparency ahead of the 2027 general elections. Now, lawmakers voted that the bill at plenary within hours of its presentation, leaving little or no room for debate, clause by clause consideration, or anything like that. The president just quickly signed it. Now, moving on, a prominent leader of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Kashim Imam, has publicly declared the end of his long-standing personal and political alliance with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu after more than 3 decades, citing deep moral concerns over governance and widespread injustice in the country. So Imam, who holds positions as chairman of ADC membership registration and revalidation, as well as Northeast ADC national leader, made the announcement in a widely circulated videos shared on social media. And I'll let you in on that later. In the video, he described the decision as one driven by conscience, faith, and unwavering commitments to justice. In fact, he said, I was a close ally to Tinubu for 36 years, but today I decided to part ways with him out of fear of God and a rejection of injustice, Imam stated emphatically. He went further to criticize the current leadership, asserting that Nigeria has never witnessed such level of hardship and inequity, despite its vast natural and human resources. We'll never see this kind of lack of balance for inside our country before. Now the worst we don't see be this one. So because of that, I don't wash my hand come out for anything we get to do with Tinubu, like Pontius Pilate. And people are saying that, does it really matter? I mean, the person you're washing your hands of does not even care about you in the first place anyway. So it doesn't really matter. And then let's see very quickly. Yeah, so as it's got to do with the Electoral Act amendments, so former aide to late President Muhammadu Buhari, Bashir Ahmed, has alleged that there are clear indications that Peter Obi and his supporters to evidence may push for the adoption of direct primaries within the African Democratic Congress ADC. Ahmed's comment comes as the National Assembly removed the option of direct primaries for all political parties in Nigeria. Now, the amendment was accented in on, it was accented on Thursday. I mean, by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, immediately. So Ahmed is saying that in fact, the reaction, he said there were clear indications that Peter Obi and his supporters were pushing for the adoption of direct primaries within the ADC. Now, the National Assembly erased the option of direct primaries for all political parties, and the amendment was today accented to by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So he did right. So no hope or what? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Let's just go straight to other issues very quickly while I try to reconnect with Dr. Katch. I think he's having some issues, and it's really unfortunate that we have to have this issue at this time now. I really would love to have him share his thought on all of these conversations, and we'll get straight into the insecurity issues that is biting very hard in our country. But whilst we still try to connect to him, let me quickly let you in. Let me leave you with this video while I try to connect with Dr. Katch with what Mike Igini said. But before then, let's quickly remind you of other issues very, very, very quickly. So did I tell you that in Kano State, Hizbah board has confirmed the arrest of 9 Muslims for allegedly eating in public on Wednesday, the first day of Ramadan fast? How dare you eat? Now, the BOT Deputy Commander Mujahid Aminuddin said the suspects consist of 2 women and 7 men. So, according to him, the individuals were apprehended after they were sighted eating openly during daylight hours. We arrested them and they are with us, where we will teach them the importance of fasting, how to pray, read the Quran, and how to become good Muslims, Aminuddin said. Now, he, however, did not state when the suspects will be released. So there you are. This is Nigeria. Make I quickly play you that video with Oga and Mike Igini while we wait on Dr. Katch.
If there's this type of omnibus, latitude and all that, it's going to be abused. There will be no network. That is what is going to happen in that election. And so, when you talk about remedy, I would have thought that the reform we're talking about, that's the reason I didn't want to participate. I was thinking that it would be about how to reform, ensure that the onus of proof of how well election is conducted should be on the election management body, as we demonstrated while we were in office, wherever I served. That was what I did. 2, I had thought that this disposition of election matter before people are sworn in will be what we'll be looking out for. We didn't see that at all. Where is the Electoral Offences Tribunal that for the past 20 years, it will not be there? So the issue about e-transmission is the resistance coming from the elite.
Will you then recommend to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu not to sign the bill as it is?
It is by indeed humble recommendation to Mr. President that you are a man of history. You were a senior man to very many of us in the struggle at the time when the journey of Nigeria
unfortunately, this is gone. This is gone because this appeal no go hold water again. As waiting don't happen, don't already happen. It no matter again. Well, moving on very quickly with the conversation, as it still gets to do with the Electoral Act. Pat Utomi don't talk. So prominent political economist and activist Pat Utomi has slammed the recently amended Electoral Act 2026, describing it as a calculated move that could undermine Nigeria's democratic process ahead of the 2027 general election. Now, in a post published on his X handle, let me quickly resend the link to Dr. Katch, please pardon me. All right, so on a post published on his handle, he did say something. Let me quickly resend that while I get straight to that conversation. Sincere apologies for this age. This is Nigeria, unfortunately. You must have like 20 backups of network for you to have it going. I'm so sorry. Dr. Katch, sir, I have resent it to you, sir. Sir? I have done so, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. So moving on to what Dr. Patutomi said very quickly. Let's see where we are with that conversation. Okay, yeah. So he said, before us is life and death. choose life that you may live, using citizens to resist what he characterized as creeping authoritarianism. So he did say. Um, and then, yes, so Utomi argued that the amendment signals a pattern of advanced election rigging, alleging that loopholes inserted into the legislation could weaken electronic transmission of results and create room for manipulation. Although he did not cite specific clauses, he previously faulted the National Assembly for what he described as deliberate ambiguities capable of eroding transparency. Now, Utomi called for renewed civic vigilance, particularly among young Nigerians and members of the diaspora. According to him, sustained public pressure will be critical for safeguarding electoral credibility in lead up to 2027 election. Basically, say we need to sustain the pressure. The public needs to sustain the pressure for us to get them right. Basically, what he's trying to say. And the amendment of the Electoral Act is something that Nigerians need to sustain that public pressure so that they can get it. If I don't get, I was just going to say, if I don't get Dr. Katch, I may need to call him on phone to join us. Hello, Dr. Katch. Sincere apologies. I don't know what happened to your network. So sorry for the trouble, sir.
Hello.
Can you hear me, sir?
How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm fine, sir. Can you hear us?
At least now I can see you. I can hear you.
Okay,
That software was corrupted. That's what
sorry.
happened. But this is
Sincere
this
apologies,
is
sir. So you were wrapping up your thoughts on the Electoral
this
Act
is
before.
Adina,
Hello, sir.
something to drink,
Oh dear.
please. Anything.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, my dear. I'm here with you.
it's okay, sir. So you were wrapping up your thoughts on the
Hey,
Electoral Act before we go into other conversations. Yes, sir.
why is voice breaking? Your voice is
It's the network.
breaking.
It's the network.
Why?
Can you hear me, sir?
Is it?
Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me?
It's yes, it's breaking. Wait, let me re-enter again. Let me re-enter.
In case it doesn't let you re-enter, I don't want to take the risk. Just be on the line. Let me see if I can call you on WhatsApp. Don't bother, sir. Oh, goodness me. Let me see if I can call you on WhatsApp and we use the WhatsApp voice. Ouch. Okay. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So let me just talk to you here. You can turn on your video from that, and you can still be on the other side while I talk to you here.
Okay, no problem. Let me check that.
You can rejoin.
Okay, but you're right. It's the same.
Yes. So
My video is still on.
whilst you're connecting, you were trying to wrap your thoughts on the Electoral Act very quickly before the network went off on us.
The Electoral Act is very simply a fight in society as there is a struggle currently for the heart and soul of our recently recovered country, or rather the carcass of it.
We have recovered our country.
Lost. I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's safe. I think it is safe to say that with the U.S. intervention, we'll recover that country.
But the U.S. not going to even enter the war zone. They just came to train us. So there's even no need to bring them into the conversation because it just came for training.
That's your word. If you understand what it means in security, this is the first time a foreign army has come to our country because of a crisis our local army could not handle. It has never happened before. So a lot of what will go inside it, we're also apprehensive. We're watching with one eye because there's nowhere in history the Americans have gone to with their boots on the ground that they have not ended up influencing political outcomes within that jurisdiction. So that's why we must be very, very.
So are you saying that the Americans' presence here may lead to some sort of international influence in our politics? So do you think any international influence would stop President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from winning the 2027 election?
I think for me it is presumptuous and it's too early to start talking about the 2027 elections.
But the president started campaigning almost from day one, when he got into office.
And that is foolishness to force a distraction from the fact that we are currently occupied by a foreign power. And that happened while our government was in denial. So that foreign power forced themselves upon our space while our government are in denial. And we know how this works. For them to achieve peace, for them to achieve harmony, they have to be on the same page. There is nothing on discussion today in Nigeria, all over the world, that is as serious as the current boot on the ground of US soldiers in Nigeria. So, and it is good that the US listed their issue du jour for the Congress and the people that they put there. So most Nigerians feel, okay, it's not our problem. It's a US Fulani war, because the US wrote the Mieti Allah, the US wrote the Mieti Allah Tërrørists in the Congress papers, wrote also the Mieti Allah Katch Association and they wrote the governors who initiated the Sharia in their states, led by Governor Kwankwaso. So
he's not the first. Kwankwaso is not the first governor to start Sharia in any northern state, sir.
That's not Kwankwaso's name entered that legislation as a star name, because when Trump made the initial announcement about the Nigerian policy, Kwankwaso raised his voice, Asari Dokubo raised his voice, and Femi Faneka raised their voices.
So they just want to show them, say there's a bit waiting they don't do for past.
So exactly. So the Americans took Kwankwaso's name and started talking about those who brought Sharia. So why we, the Nigerians, the government would like to distract us to look at other things? We, who are the critical stakeholders, see a troubling trend. For the first time in the history of our country, a foreign power, a mighty power, has come into our country in the middle of a disagreement with the Nigerian government.
So going back, okay. I mean, going back to what you talked about.
Yes.
I was going to say, going back to what you talked about, foreign, interference and foreign being here. Do you see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yielding to anybody, any foreign powers? Do you see him? He's somebody who knows.
Tinubu is not in the picture. He's not. Whether he will yield, they're not asking for his permission. He refused. He said there was no such things. The Americans ignored him and came into the country.
So you think, say, if America decide to do it, then do with Jonathan and Buhari for 2015, say Tinubu will agree make that kind of thing happen, understanding that he knows his politics very well. That
is true. Everybody will say that their father is the strongest man in the world until they see calamity visit their village, and their father can't do it. When you are up against the Israeli lobby and the US government acting upon that, then you have a problem. And that's what we should look at. It's not a small thing. The United States have come from all the way from North America to save Africans. Thank you. And the Nigerian government was busy engaging in shameful denial.
All right, sir. So a few things you have for like me could talk about where me and you been never fit talk about what happened this week. The arrest of El Rufai, for instance, early this week. How you take it down, and then most importantly, the revelation where El Rufai make about Ribadu and how India imports harmful chemical into the country.
El Rufai and Ribadu's issue, and it, I have said severally, is what police will call family case.
A family problem.
El Rufai, yeah.
So no matter what they are doing to him now, it's family issue, they can handle it.
It's a local family case. El Rufai, Tinubu, Ribadu, they are all members of the same gang. If they're not having a disagreement among themselves, it could be a metaphorical expression of this quiet and implosion in the APC. They really didn't want to give Tinubu power, but they sold it to him, and that was his anger that they sold it to him. So he refused to include them, and the parties started splitting. Some of them bought the platform, ADC, and the rest is history. So this war is just beginning. But I just pray the presidency are serious about it so that we'll be well entertained.
You think we'll be well entertained? Where the people of Nigeria did for this entertainment within this suffer? Because a new report just carry on saying Nigeria don't carry first for hunger for inside the world under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. So where the Nigerian people did? Yes.
Nigeria is an unreported catastrophe.
Yay.
It is underreported catastrophe. But it is good now that the world is prying Nigeria. It is because Nigeria, now the world is now looking into Nigeria. That's why these revelations are being seen. But these signs have been here since. It's good now that the world is paying attention. And that's why I think it will get well very soon. So for me, I think Nigeria is onto something very good with the current attention it's gotten, especially from the United States. So that's excellent, beautiful, good for us.
What? So some people think that Nigeria may implode with what the new crop of politicians are doing, the combination of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with a Wike and an Akpabio. Do you see Nigerians revolting and saying that enough is enough or bad enough?
Akpabio, Wike, and Tinubu, that's not who we are. That's not who we are. They were forced upon us by the system. But now we see historical developments that will replace such persons, and then the world will see the true face of Nigeria. I think this is a process. You know, the US intervention is a first, because the real gorilla in the house are the Fulani. So the US are here now to hold them down. We will fix ourselves. I am a very optimistic person. Nigeria can get well. But you need to pull down these devils, these demons, these protagonists that think it's only them or no one. And because they are human, they can hold on for too long. We just need to keep pushing. Thank God the US have not taken interest in our country. They will never walk away. They are here, finito. They've been wanting to come here since from Obasanjo's time, at the inception of the democracy. As in, they tell you that they've always been here. It's just they love to stay in the background. But they have now coming to the front. So let's see how it works. And there's nothing that's that bad, you know?
All right.
All the countries where the US have been to, I think they have done well. Germany, US is there. US is in Korea. Yes, US is in Japan, at Okinawa.
But there are other countries that are not doing so well that they are there. And that's exactly the fear of many.
If you seek peace, which is what Nigerians seek, the peace to live a peaceful life, not the fundamentalist jihadists And what they just want to capture the country. Look at how they've impoverished the country. The country used to be a $500 billion economy before in 2015. As the jihadists came in, the thing just dropped to 229 billion. That's wrong. It's wrong. It used to be number one economy in Africa. Now it's about number 6 because of the jihadists. So let's come together as one people to fix our country. It's possible. The problem is when the British left, they left the Fulani here. So the Fulani just ran amok. They messed up the country. Now we've gotten it back. Let us work together to fix Nigeria.
Okay.
The Americans are not going away anytime soon. Anybody who thinks they will go away, that's just a foolish person.
All right. So before all right, before we get into the core insecurity issues, there's something that just happened because we hear that there's been fresh arrest again concerning the coup against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as they don't arrest new fresh people. Among those who be said they arrest now, Major H. Yusuf, a member of 57 irregular corps, who recently completed his senior course at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College in Hajj. There are quite a lot of other people will be say then just rearrest again newly. And people don't they talk say this matter we get to do with this code. Does it not end? Oh yeah, now carry them go court. The problem now is how to actually charge them, what court to take them to. Now martial law, I mean, they are military, they go use carry them, or now court. How they won't use charge them, we don't know. But the families of these people have been saying that it's a conspiracy against their people, that they should release them or charge them to court. Let me take your quick note on that before we go to waiting happen, because there was a bloodbath in Kebbi State yesterday. Let me take your thoughts, sir.
The issue of the coup, before the government was in denial of the coup. Now they've come out to own up. So the owning up simply means they will now address it as a coup. So there are things that if it's a coup, as determined by this initial board of inquirers, they've done their preliminary inquiry and they say it is a coup. So because it's a coup now, you will now see the extended people mentioned in the plots, they start inviting them. I think that's what it is. When it is agreed, it's a coup. The nomenclature that pursued it the other time will change. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Where the man who ran away, what's that man? There's former governor of Bayelsa, Tërrørists.
Yes, please.
He should come and answer himself. So it is the same thing I'm talking about in regards to the internal disagreements in the APC. See, after Buhari left, this is the fight. And that fight is what we're talking of. It has generated El-Rufai. Reason why I told you it's an internal family case. These things are consequences of an implosion in the APC.
Okay. All right. So very All right. So quickly speaking on the security, there are a couple of insecurity stories, but our fear is that this is getting home, sooner or faster than we imagine. First of all, we did hear that Kebbi State Police Command has confirmed that dozens, over 34, are feared dead after suspected Lukarawa terrorists attacked several rural communities in, I think, Arewa local government area. According to local and security sources, the gunmen stormed the village in the remote border district, opening fire on residents in what survivors described as highly organized and indiscriminate assaults and shooting. And this happened yesterday. So other media sources have reported it, and people are saying that people are crying for their lives. But as I still speak to you, even in the same Kebbi State, terrorists then don't come tell people, say, you know what, if you don't pay 100 million naira as levy, we will attack you. So I've been saying, I go tell you, may help me interpret that. They say they will pay 100 million zakats I don't know what is zakat be. You know, say you be our encyclopedia. You go help me tell me. Say suspected members of the terrorist group Boko Haram. Another set. The other one, na Lukarawa attacked them for Kebbi. This one still Kebbi State again. Na Boko Haram. They have issued a threat to residents of Utono community in the Ngaski local government area of the state, announcing plans to launch an attack and demanding a cash payment of 100 million naira as zakat. What is zakat, sir?
Zakat is one of the foundational pillars of Islam. You know, like being among the 10 commandments. So one of the commandments is zakat, and it begs you to give something from what you own to the needy, to the infirm, and the sick.
So why would Boko Haram demand a zakat from villagers?
Boko Haram, zakat is actually a form of tax. There are taxes that are also above it. And it is seen as an entry-level tax. There are other taxes also in Islam. But these taxes are normally put upon believers, practitioners of the faith. So I don't know why they will generally ask everybody for zakat when everybody's not a Muslim. I think they just come to raise money for their operations. As has been their modus operandi.
Then a more
but you see,
go ahead, sir.
We're having this discussion because we're no more afraid to discuss. There was a time when the government used the NBC to say that media houses shouldn't be reporting a lot about this insurgency and this jihad. And so in some media houses, it was a taboo to even talk and be honest about the Fulani war. So, but we cannot solve the country if we are being dishonest. It's like the American issue. For you to sit on the table with them, all of you must work from the same page, the same picture. They are here with a picture in their head, based on intelligence gathered, talking about a jihad. And you're saying no, and you're actually engaging in denial. And these people have gone on and planned and say this is what they would do because of this. They have solid, actionable intelligence. So for us now, we have to catch up. Since they've landed here anyway, brought boots on the ground, set up. The ones who are here now will now set up a lot of things. Upon which those who will now come in will come in. But we also have to fashion a way to react to their coming. Yeah, they've been successful in listing down that they're here against the Fulani. But we also have to be careful as citizens. So that's why I say the urgency of that is more important than the APC trying to improve themselves, as we're not discussing about El-Rufai, about Tinubu and Co.
All right.
This is one house.
Okay. So one of the things really very worrisome now, how close this danger don't be right now. Because as I speak to you, tragedy struck as suspected terrorists attacked a Agam community in Akure North local government area of Ondo State. Ondo State, our backyard.
Yeah.
And this happened yesterday evening. And they killed community traditional ruler, that is the community's traditional ruler, Obakende Falodun, during an invasion of his palace. That is, I don't know whether you understand this thing. Foreign or alien people from a totally different place enter the Yoruba land. Apparently people not from Yoruba enter the Yoruba land, went straight to the palace of the king or the community king at that place, because now didn't call him, and entered his palace, tried to kidnap him, perhaps he resist, and they killed him. Now, according to Punch newspaper, community sources said about 10 heavily armed men stormed the monarch's residence, attempting to abduct him. However, the traditional ruler reportedly resisted their efforts. When the assailants shot at him several times, and the bullets didn't penetrate, they hit him on the head with a heavy object, leading to his death. A resident who pleaded anonymity said so to people. And this is really very sad to hear this kind of thing going on. Can you hear me, sir?
This is very, very sad for us. What it tells you is that the insecurity is now getting well reported now. All over the country, people are reporting it. Reporting it will bring the alarm that's necessary to mobilize the people to wake up against it. Some don't understand what we're dealing with. Some think it will go away. Now it has come to them. We are not talking about the Southwest. It wasn't there.
I am surprised, and that's why it's shocking, because, I mean, see Ondo State, see Niger Delta, see Ondo State, see Lagos.
No.
It is crazy.
That is why you saw. That's why you saw the Igbos were shouting when the problem was there in Benue. Because once Benue fell, the South is invulnerable. Now they have left Benue. They are now stretching towards the southwest by breaking through Kwara, Kogi, and then as they break through Kwara, they enter the southwest. That's what you're seeing now. That's what you're saying.
So yesterday there was a statement by IPOB when they talk say them IPOB or ESN be no gree make Fulani enter inside their forest or inside Igbo land. That the Yorubas who allowed them, that see how the Yoruba communities are now being attacked. Do you think this has anything to do with the ESN helping to safeguard the Southeast in any way?
No. It can be anybody claiming to be ESN.
Okay. So, but would you agree that do you think the Igbo youth try to help in any way to secure their land?
On the Igbo, it's already known to be preparing to secure Yoruba land.
Yes. Oh, you heard that too, right? Yeah, because he said he's getting ready.
Tinubu's government and Tinubu's best demand have done a lot to try to weaken Amotekun. They refused Lagos joining Amotekun.
In fact, they even accused Ayedati was saying now only about among all the money where they allocate for talk for Amotekun, that he released just a little amount of that money that was not even efficient for the operation for the year.
You understand what I'm saying? There is an onslaught by the state against Amotekun. I don't know what strategy that helps. Well, they are not challenged. You will see that nature abhors back. Something will happen from the states, the local people, because already the establishment of the local hunters brigade has been nationwide. I'm aware that it's concluded in most states, people selected. I'm aware, yes, I'm aware. And those people have gone through government documentations. Communities have made their contribution to a lot of states. So I think it's Tinubu's dragging of his feet. That is the reason why that thing have not come to conclusion. No matter what he says, where are we today? Of all the noise we've made about state police, we are still debating it. Tinubu, it's really not doing what he should do. You know, he took the Fulani for granted and they messed him up. They messed him up big time.
So
Let's keep watching.
Is there a way out in all of this right now? I mean, the area where we say the south, the area where we say the US troop, they na northeast, and maybe they will look at northwest because a middle belt rather, because they actually did announce that from northeast to middle belt, now be say then go day for now. So do you see any help for the Yoruba communities and perhaps some protection for the southeast too, considering that some part of the southeast, like Enugu, don't experience this kind of thing too?
At the end of the day, we Nigerians can only help the US efforts by also securing our own local individual communities. And I think Nigerians have started that. There were groundswell of nomination of 35 communities across eastern Nigeria, across the country. So some people are now fused into a forest guard. They are local people selected from the local areas. And those names were put forward by the local autonomous communities. So now that the violence has increased, I have no doubt that the urgency will also be increased on the side of the people. The people are historically lucky. For the first time since the British came, no other foreign power has put soldiers' boots on Nigeria, except as happened in the last 30 days in my country, Nigeria. The United States is now effectively in Nigeria with boots on the ground.
What do you
welcome them?
Okay, so you think that Nigeria doesn't stand anything to lose? Let me also quickly let you know that in Plateau State, now different matter entirely. As people they cry say for Plateau State, there has been renewed attacks when no they reported. In fact, the Nigerian troops say they don't send the joint military troop to Plateau State for some protection because of waiting they happened there. And Benue State is also not left out.
Plateau?
Yes, sir.
Plateau, Benue, Taraba, Kaduna are likely to come under flashlights because these areas have concentration of land grabbing Fulanis who have taken lands of indigenous people through waves of ethnic cleansing actions.
But
when they drive the people off their land, they harvest their lands, harvest their crops, become the new landowner.
So, but
the government.
Yeah. So the greatest challenge now is that. Sorry, so the greatest challenge now is that. How possible will it be for this? This collaboration we have with the United States. How possible will it be for indigenous people to go back to their villages, especially those that have been taken over?
That's why they are here. If Nigerian government can't ensure taking them back to their village, the U.S. Army will take them back to their villages.
And then talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, waiting come be the possibility say people will still vote for will still get that wide support with all of these issues of insecurity will happen. Because insecurity on the one hand, and on the other hand, the Fulani, just like you said, may not be happy with him. They'll be very angry with what's going on. So do you, apart from this Electoral Act to look like say he did in their favor, before now, do you see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu getting the majority mind of the people to win the election free and fairly?
If it's free and fair, he has to make his case to the people that he hasn't started.
He never even started at all.
Also, he hasn't. Now, those who what he's been doing since his strategizing, the parties are also strategizing. A lot of the platforms haven't yet elected their presidential candidates. So, none of them can be said to have started. So, Tinubu himself When he starts, we'll say actions. Presidents needing a second term give concessions, caucuses to tribes, to states, to geopolitical zones. The time when you have the yam and the knife, you start cutting it to give people who wrong before, those you thought you neglected politically, infrastructure, you give them something.
But
so when he starts that, we will know.
But your brother Benjamin Kīll saying, your brother Benjamin Kīll saying, don't they do well now? Say, for the past administration did not even recognize Igbos at all, but that Igbos are now in prominent positions. And we heard somebody like Tërrørists also campaigning for him and saying that, I mean, that Tinubu did well for voting, for putting Igbo men, like he mentioned Dave Umahi, then he mentioned Wike as the Igbo men in politics. Giving them top positions, that for that Nigerians should vote for him. So has he not pleased the Southeast?
There's nothing wrong with friends and supporters of government making very long speeches in praise of government. The problem is with the people. That's why I'm telling you, the government has to make its case to the people, not to their friends. Their friends could be due to business, influence, those seeking advantage. They will do everything to make government happy. The government has to deal with the people, not these people. What is it? They are insignificant. Anybody in his hometown not to vote for Peter, even though he was supporting him. Peter won in his village. Peter won in his village. So forget those people.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with Igbos embracing Tinubu. Hear me now.
Okay, sir.
There's nothing. I do not think it is right to condemn Igbos who are embracing Tinubu. If embracing Tinubu, yes. If embracing City Boy Network or City Boy, whatever they call themselves, they are able to stop the current demolition of Igbo practice in Lagos. That's good. Okay. You know, since these Tinubu's people who are known to be doing that destruction, if that can stop it, befriend them. It doesn't mean that Igbos wouldn't know how to vote when the time for election comes. Such people were available with Buhari. You just mentioned that is. You didn't make people in Atte's place vote for Buhari. No. You mentioned the recent one, what they call it, City Boy or something. The Igbo boys that they put there, I don't think they can win the votes in their villages.
Cannot win their village.
Community don't. You will not win it for the candidate that they want on their City Boy movement. No. The people in their village are Igbos. It's actually the village of the, what is it called? Newspaper that has tested election before. You know? Someone like, what's his name? Obi Kubana. His brother ran for election in the last dispensation. He didn't win. So it's a different thing. And I beg people, don't discourage those who embrace the City Boy movement. It could be their way of saving their properties from being destroyed. Whether you like it or not, the rise of Igbo visibility in Lagos and across Nigeria is inevitable. The Igbos are in their longest period of economic renaissance. So people are beginning to take notice of them and their resilience. Nobody will stop them. No matter how much properties is destroyed, they will always join plenty City Boy movements.
Okay, so just the next question before we open the phone lines. Oh dear, network. All right. Okay.
I don't see that.
Okay, so just the next question before we open the phone lines. In the Electoral Act 2026, that has just been consented by the president. There's an adoption of direct primaries and consensus candidacy. So they don't promote the dollarized primaries of indirect primaries. Do you see Peter Obi being able to adopt direct primaries in ADC to clinch the ADC ticket? And what kind of game change do you think it will bring? The reason I'm asking this question, in fact, when you answer that question, I'll quickly let you in on what we heard about Peter Obi. Just go ahead, sir.
I don't want to tell you Peter Obi this, Peter Obi that, because Peter Obi is a product all of us know. What he's seeking for is a platform where everybody who believes in him can come to and follow him. So it doesn't stop other candidates from also playing their own maneuvers. Politics is war done peacefully. It also has rules. So let's see what other candidates have. Let's see how they react to the current events. All I can tell you is nobody knows what Peter's mind is. Now that he has shown that he wants to run as a presidential candidate.
He keeps saying that.
What's going on.
Yes, he's saying that he's never going as deputy or anything, that he's going to be on the ballots.
Good.
That's what he keeps saying.
Good.
And that's why I asked you if you think he can get the ADC tickets.
I've told you that before. No matter what you hear, Peter will run as a candidate at the elections. So it is that particular thing that you see now on ruffling feathers in the opposition ADC.
All right. So there were also scoops or gossips that say, I can talk about Pigeon because this gossip is sweet of Pigeon. Say somebody from Abuja then send emissaries to Alex Oti for Abia State. Make he go tell Peter Obi, make he calm down in ambition, make he no contest for 2027. Make he leave the ambition, make Tinubu finish. Not true?
I don't know. Speculations are plenty. You should know that such business is foolish. Peter Obi is not the person, it is the youth. They only use Peter Obi as the head gear of their movement. And you need to understand, a society like ours must get some alternative escape routes, or everybody will die in one single room. You know that.
Okay. So my next question. Okay.
In other rooms, we shall have problems.
All right. So the next question.
People should not go to the other room.
But talking about that other room, that's actually where my next question is coming from, because there are gossips that Alex Oti is about to join the APC. In fact, APC is supposed to do their congress for inside Abia State, but they get to postpone that because of Alex Oti entrance into APC for Abia State. How you take this one, especially considering Orjo's Okalo warning that he would ensure he works against Alex Oti? What do you think?
What I would say is I would have heard the rumor and just kept quiet. If joining the APC will make Alex Oti continue to provide the kind of service that he's been doing in Abia, and I'll be able to get more of that, so be it. You know, in politics, you pay price for certain things. So I don't know if it is true or not. If it is a price Abia pays to continue doing goodness, then it's a good price to pay. Keep Alex Oti there. That's all. No matter how he stays, how he gets there, how he manages to get his way in there second time, he should do it. I'm with him 100%. as much as I can say for this.
All right, Nigerians phone lines are open. Kindly calling. Sincere apologies for the H we experienced earlier. 0817-029-4077. That is the number to call, or you call the number that is pinned on the, follow the link on the pin post, and it will bring you straight into the studio to join us in the studio. 0817-029-4077. That is the number to call. Welcome to the show. T.Y. Danjuma, good evening and welcome. Good evening, sir. Happy.
Good evening, Precious.
Sorry, I no greet on yesterday. I was very emotional, but I'm okay today. Happy new electoral bill signing. So they get every greeting from Nigeria.
There's nothing to be happy about. I don't know if Dr. Katch is happy. Dr. Katch, I greet you. I don't know if he's happy because for me, what I see is only the clouds gathering.
Go ahead.
I see it. Is it here? Is this?
Dr. Katch, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
So what I see is that Nigeria is being set for a major revolution that may tear the country down. This government.
Do you think we have the capacity for that revolution? You think we'll get that? That wasn't just the acts of Katch. You think so?
No. You are making a mistake. The direction in which you are looking. The direction in which you are looking.
And we are going there.
Dr. Katch said we have the capacity and we're going there.
Yes, the direction from where
it has already been set on. That's why I told you the Americans came here. The Americans came here means we now have a platform who can go out to the street to protest. Once the Americans are here, they will go and arrest us.
No, but they threw tear gas at them now. They throw tear gas at them after they come again, say they go probe the tear gas throwing. Like say they no, say now they throw the tear gas.
No, the direction from where I'm looking at it is different, because what I see is a fire that is presently smoldering. It's not going to come.
I hope it's not be from the north. They look at from happening.
No, it's not going to come from people coming together to protest. No, that's the wrong direction. It's, you see, all the ingredients that you need. You know, if you go to the chemistry of fire, there are 3 elements or 4 that needs to be present for there to be combustion, for fire to ignite. All the 3 elements currently are there ingrained in what's happening in Nigeria, the way you see it today. There's a 4th element, that is the combination of all the 3. And they react together. Then you have a fire.
How
that is not going to come from the protest. That is going to come from the various elements and ingredients that have been introduced in the polity, a lot of them caused by APC. When that happens, there's going to be a blowout that even APC itself cannot contain. The steps that they have taken so far, whether it's the executive, whether it's the legislature, whether it's the judiciary, past and present, have set in motion those forces that are going to destroy and wreck Nigeria. APC better not, and nobody's going to be spared. We have seen the signs here and there, flickers of it here and there, whether it's the army coup, whether it's the protest, whether it's the people in the north, whether, you can see all sectors, you can see it happening. And if we're denying it, if we're thinking that what is happening now is child's play, we're joking. APC has done everything that they can do, and they are still jittery, and they are still afraid. They have muzzled almost everybody. They have executive power. They have majority in the Senate, in the House, in the states, in the local governments. And yet, they still feel a sense of fear. The question you would ask is, what is happening? Why? Why would you have all these forces? You have the Wikis there who says, I will block everybody in Abuja who is trying to vote against.
Hey, I was even going to ask Dr. Katch. Tomorrow is his election. In the Abuja indigenous. Tomorrow now on our election, Dr. Katch. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Your brother said you will block anybody who will not support Tinubu. He go block, say he go stop the person from winning. And just yesterday, we saw something magical happen. The PDP candidates for a particular, what did they call them? Surrender in candidacy to the APC candidate. I mean, we were celebrating it, and we can say na him make it happen. So the way he joined PDAPC yesterday for Port Harcourt, River State, that's why you don't join them together now for Abuja. How you take it? How do they receive this one for Abuja? What's the body language of people in Abuja, sir? Sorry that I have to stop your guy, T.Y. Danjuma. It was good to get that gossip scoop from Dr. Katch. Go ahead, sir.
Well, what you have to understand, politicians can play wayo, they can undermine electoral materials arriving where it should arrive as a way to undermine those people, especially if they believe there are block voters for their opponents in that particular vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
We can employ such doggish strategies to undermine transportation going there.
So just to clarify, as someone who lives in Abuja, would you say that the current APC guys who are in power in Abuja are doing well? Because they are campaigning that are doing well, and that's why people must vote them back. Do you think they're doing well?
Well, from what the country has seen, they're not doing well. Things are going bad.
You don't want to talk from what you see now. What's in country they see now they talk about. It's okay. I'll ask your personal opinion.
There is no, things are going bad. There is generally rhetorics than practical life.
More
the economy
rhetoric
is
than
very
life.
good when government officials give speeches. The economy is held when speeches are made. But in reality, it's really not there. Insecurity is a big issue. Without security, you can't do nothing. And the government seems to have failed completely to protect lives and property. Nothing counts more than that. And that's why we have the crisis we have today.
All right, sir. Let me. Okay, sir.
I want to say that a lot of the people who purposely undermine the capacity of our security services so that the jihad militias will overpower our security services. Such people are parts of society. Patrons, no. Yet, the government has been very lenient in going after them. But let us see what will happen. Mr. Malami is currently being tried. Let's see if other people will also be tried. We are watching.
All right, sir. So talking about that trial very quickly, remember, Bauchi governor don't talk, say that's not just a game plan to cripple the opposition, and that if it continues, that there will be war. In fact, I don't want to talk without evidence. Make you not be like Senator Tokam. Make her just play small way in Tokam, just small. May hear him.
The institution of government, like the EFCC, to persecute and prosecute Nigerians that are not within their own party. If they don't stop, we are going to declare war. I assure you we are not going to keep quiet any longer. I won't allow anybody to criminalize me because I'm not in their party. And I refuse to join their party. And I will not join their party.
So
my family members, my officials.
Do you think people would fold their hands and allow this administration to keep criminalizing them like the Bauchi governor stated? Remember, he on talk now say people were also there bad day your government. Why you never talk to them like that? Why one day like this Yaya Bello no dey inside prison. Why you wanna never put them? All the people who get criminal cases under this administration, the Akpabios of this world, the Ojos Carlos and all that, why are you not revisiting their cases? Why not the opposition they look at? I mean, people say they don't chop money for their states like Wike, why you allow them work for your government without looking at the waiting people talk about them? You know, this time waiting people they talk. So do you think that there won't be war if this persecution of opposition continues?
Well, Buhari did it. Was that war?
It was a PDP opposition. It was a PDP opposition. No, this one now people have been there the PDP before 90. You know, you see the difference.
If you don't have anything to fear, nobody will come to you.
Okay, sir.
Bala is guilty. I myself knew he was funding the Miete Allah Tërrørists. Okay, fine. Under Buhari, the foreign organizations will enjoy the golden parachute. Under the dispensation, with the Americans in charge, those foreign organizations you were funding are now seen as enemies of state. And you were in bed with enemies of state. Bala should understand this is how this thing works. Bala funded Abdullah Bello body job. And Bello took the funding to build an army in Nasarawa, which was used to attack the Benue Basin constantly. These things are recorded.
But sir, this one you they talk. But we hate the cattle horrors and the rearers, breeders, don't react to. They say they're not be terrorists. In fact, they say they're opposing to what the US, that bill by the United States. And they're asking the Nigerian government to interfere, that they are legitimate people doing their businesses registered in Nigeria. And they don't have any affiliation whatsoever with any terrorist organization. Even though some people, they say they don't once upon a time take responsibility for attacks on Nigeria, especially Benue State during autumn time. But they're saying it's not, they're not part of it, including, I think, Supreme Islamic Council also did oppose to that bill and are saying that they will not accept that members of their organization, of their religion rather, are proscribed. That, in fact, they call them, say, then talk, their word now say, na attempt by some not be just criminal element, they call them something like bad belly people. They say secessionist one, they say a secessionist, and people will be say religious leaders will be say get bad belly, something like that. I would look at the right word he used. So you see,
the good thing is that the security agencies that listed their name is not that of Nigeria. It was international security agencies that you said. They are not Nigerians. It's like the names that we are giving for which US government started sanctions this week. They came from Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. And a lot of the people on those names have served prison terms after being convicted for those offenses. But Nigeria has not been forthcoming in making that punishment to terrorists. Well, the US has come, and now we expect things to change. The US have come, as I said. We expect changes, and I have no doubt we shall see changes.
All right, sir. Okay, sir. All right, sir. T.Y. Danjuma, please continue with your thoughts, sir.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Katch. I was saying that if you look at, now this is what I feel, what I see. Wike is going to try to frustrate, to influence the election that is going to come up on Saturday in Abuja. He has said it. It was not picked up.
Abuja is important to them. Yes.
He has not retracted it. He was not scolded. He was not picked up. So I want to believe that he's acting a script for those he's serving. And that's part of the reason why he's put there.
So why INEC not respond? Because I mean, making such threats openly, INEC ought to have responded. Why they
They're all captured. They're all captured. So what is going to happen? Abuja is a cosmopolitan city. APC is not popular in Abuja. They're not. If you go by what we see and what we hear, if you have a free and fair election, APC will not win. Now, so what Mike is going to do is to try, because he's in charge. He's like the governor over there. And so this is not, I don't think it's INEC that is going to organize this election. So
I mean, did you not hear what he said, that anybody who does not vote for APC, that any community that does not vote for them will not get roads anymore, that he will stop building roads?
Fine. So that is all, that's already rigging. I mean, he has said clearly that's already rigging. So
go ahead, please.
Hello? I thought Doctor was speaking.
No, go ahead. I think he's having
okay.
a conversation.
So what he's going to do is to tamper with the result of the election. And that will be the beginning of trouble. That's what I see. Because he will be completely overwhelmed by the votes that are going to come against APC. Labour Party is not in the picture. I think PDP is not also there. So the space is narrowed down. So you're not going to have votes being dissipated and being shared. So it's either you are ADC, voting for ADC, or voting for APC. So what we are going to see is a desperate attempt by Mike, because that is a challenge on his ability to prove his mettle, to prove again that he is the Lord of the Manor, as he did in Port Harcourt, as he did in River State. But Abuja is not River State. So he's going to deploy forces. He's going to use whatever means that he can to influence.
If the Abuja people refuse to revote, what will happen?
Let us see. We'll see. Saturday is not far.
It's tomorrow.
Saturday is not far. Huh? Abuja people are not as docile as people from River State. They are not. There is no Fubara here that you are dealing with.
I will not take that insult sitting down. I would have to stand up.
No, but that's the reality. There is no Fubara here. But you are not dealing with Fubara here. You are dealing with, it is Wike and the people. So the stage is different. The equities here are different. So, and if you say he has performed very well in Abuja as the minister, then he can expect vote. But if he has performed badly, there is no way that he's going to get people lining up behind him or behind his candidate. Aside from that, if the government, the federal government, has performed very well, then they can be assured that they are going to get votes for their candidate. If they have not, they cannot get. So the only way they can try to win is to try to tinker with the process, which they have started already, and the actual election itself. And there is nothing that these people can do. Nothing that these people can do. So what I'm saying is that if they do whatever they are planning to do, if they do whatever they want to do, the forces are gathered against them. And I want to believe that there's going to be an explosion. And that's where it's going to start.
I think Dr. Katch has a divergent view. Dr. Katch, what do you say about what T.Y. Danjuma just said about the Abuja elections and Wiki, your friend?
Abuja has historically had peaceful elections.
And if it's not peaceful this time around.
Since Wike came, he has been threatening to show us his brand of politics from River State. But we are watching him. Abuja is not a small place. It's the federal capital city. You know, if elections were allowed to count, Wike won't be in Abuja in the first place. So he thinks that same thing he did in Rivers State can be done in Abuja. Right?
Sugar. So if to say election counts, if to say election they count, Wike for no come at all, sir. That is him for no be minister, sir.
No, it would not be in Abuja now. Because he is a product of rigging. Don't forget that. That's why he was with the minister. Because he was cancelling results in his state and forcing officers to sign on the link. So Wike is not a friend of our democracy. People loot him. His ways, his approach, his use of violence, and other people. But you know, as we see, these things, nothing lasts forever. Very soon, Wike will come to an end, and society will continue its journey to where it's going to.
Okay, sir. Let me quickly. All right, let me quickly speak to Marvelous. Marvelous, good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good evening, Precious. Good evening, Dr. Katch. Good evening, Mr. Tiwa Jajua. And good evening, Nigerians.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will quickly respond to what I know you asked a question. You threw a question before. I will respond to that question here. First of all, we should understand that the current administration now, did not win an election. It's a stolen mandate. We all know that already. So I believe you could see some reasonable people when they took over power like that, or people that mean well for Nigerians. We believe that they will try to do things because due to the process which they came in, they will try to at least let the people see them that they are doing some kind of good. They are kind of doing concern. I will make reference to the Enugu state governor. We all know what happened that brought that guy into power because that mandate is a stolen mandate as well.
The Enugu state governor, right? With the contention with the Labour Party guys, this thing. I understand. Go ahead.
Good. We all saw what happened. That one didn't win an election. Is a stolen mandate as well. But you saw what that guy was not trying to do, just to please the people because they know what they've done. So
with his work, he's managed to buy the hearts or the mind of the people. Is that what you're saying?
But he's still, despite the stolen mandate is a stolen mandate. But what I'm trying to say, he still pretend to be doing some good. But we all know it's a stolen mandate. He knows that that thing, if the people, because the people still have that in the mind that this guy, that mandate does not belong to him. So we all know that as well. But these guys, they don't care. You could see that because he knows that. I will reference to what Dr. Katch said that when he said last time that he bought the presidency, he bought it from these people. So technically, if he can do whatever he likes, because you could see the guy is equal. If he can do whatever he likes, because they feel Nigerians cannot do it.
Marvelous, are you there? Go ahead. Just go ahead and wrap up your thoughts.
Yeah, I feel that the Nigerians, they cannot do anything. They can do whatever they like. They can take decisions or whatever. They can cough. So that is the reason why we must continue to speak to the consciousness of Nigerians. For them to stand up and start demanding for what belongs to them. These people are just few people. So it's the same gamble regarding the electoral law now, that the Nigerians cannot do anything. That they've captured them, they've captured the Nigerians. So we must begin now, start to speak to every conscious man, because and one thing again that is making them to feel like as if they are succeeding is because of the division among Nigerians, the north, south, east, and everything. That is just that is the
I lie you. Nigerians know they divided. Let me just even tell you the truth. It's a lie. You. The only division you think that Nigeria may have right now is against a particular tribe in the north. I can almost swear to you. If you hear Nigerians across board, it just looks like it's only a particular tribe whose people from their ethnic nationality are perhaps involved in the violence or terrorism in Nigeria. The rest of Nigerians know they speak in that scattered voice. So yeah, I would agree with you, because we're divided because some people from the southwest support Tinubu, some people from the east also support Tinubu, some people from the north also support Tinubu. So I don't see that as division. Do you understand me? So I don't think we're that divided. I don't know if I'm speaking the mind of all Nigerians. So even the Fulani itself, Bishop Abi Pastor Abi Prophet El Buba, not be Fulani man. Not be him come protest against Tinubu the other day when he said in Tiagasa. And he's a Fulani man. So it's not even all Fulanis. It's just those that people feel that are either complicit in supporting the killers of other citizens of Nigeria or the ones doing it itself. That's just the people that I mean, TY, am I wrong?
No.
Dr. Katch, am I wrong, sir, in my analysis?
No. What it is, there are people doing this thing. And they're doing it for a reason. And they're mostly Sunni Fulanis. Theirs is they have an idea of a Muslim kingdom. It's the same mindset of the people, the Tërrørists, who are part of it, and they started the Boko Haram. So what you see the Fulani doing, the Fulani, their problem is they were looking for land.
Yeah, yes,
so
sir.
Because they were not looking for land, not the Islamic kingdom, they started killing people of other tribes in Benue, in Plateau, in Taraba, in Adamawa. They were killing and fighting the Numans, the Chambas in Newman, the Kaka and the Pansa in Gimbu, killing houses, and Basari, Sapana, Dusi, Madam Musa, Urundo, even Dangobe, Anka, Malu, Densadon, killing kids in Niger State, killing a lot of people on the Benue Valley. So theirs is a different game. And they have numbers, they have coordination, which the intelligence reports by the US Congress shows. These people were well tracked, followed, they are all in it. It's like a nation's pastime. But there are few of them who are not part of that leadership that organized this thing. Can you imagine governors are in it? Look at the behavior of the governor of Katsina State. See El-Rufai behavior under Buhari. Those kind of things. See what what's his name did under Buhari, Buratai. Even Bala Mohammed, who is now being interrogated. You know, they can't run away from it.
All right. So the question is: are the whole of Nigerians at war with each other, or the rest of Nigerians
are just not at war with each other? Nigerians are shocked that the Fulanis are leaving war on all Nigerians.
You win.
Now, but if you also look at the Fulani issue, you know, in a holistic manner, you will see that it didn't start in Nigeria. The Americans have known since from Central African Republic, the Fulani against the people of the indigenous people. Even in Mali, when in 2015 there was a 2015 peace agreement. This is 2026. That's 11 years. When Buhari another for the peace agreement to be implemented, the Fulanis were coming here. Buhari wanted to create a grazing reserve to accommodate them with new lands. It failed. He tried cows.
Oh dear, we've lost Dr. Katch. Okay, so just go ahead. You just, this conversation just reminds me that there's a question I'm supposed to ask Dr. Katch about this. Dr. Katch, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so there's one question I want to ask you. Something funny happened in an environment I experienced. So there is someone around that can you hear me? Hello, Dr. Katch.
I can hear you speak.
Okay. It did where I did, and then someone just quickly asked someone, we did plenty, we did the gathering. I just wish the network would let you hear me. And somebody did ask someone that, we're talking about.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Dr. Katch?
I can hear you. I can hear
Okay,
you.
so I was in a gathering or in a meeting, and we're talking about some things happening in Nigeria. Somebody just quickly mentioned, we are Northern and you're Northern. So we had somebody from the Middle Belt, and we'll have someone from another tribe from the North. We also have somebody else who we've all known. Everyone knows him as a Fulani person. And immediately we pointed out, it's like, are you two, you're Fulani? You're Fulani. Immediately he denied and said he's not Fulani. And everyone was surprised. Was like, why now? Why are you denying? It was after he left there privately that he now spoke and said, I don't want to accept to anybody that I'm Fulani. People are targeting us. Why do you think that is? What do you think is going on?
Because he is honestly aware of what his people have done.
Are you serious? Go ahead, sir. Oh my goodness.
The things that have been done in your name. You become a different woman. When you are aware, when you become very aware of what the things that have been done in your name, you become more conscious.
Because this denial self don't even reach for poor megads. There are some megads or security officers you want to employ, even if they're from Fulani extraction, they deny, they tell you they're not.
Yeah, the Fulanis will normally do megads. The Fulanis, they will normally not do a megad. And Fulani man is very proud, he won't do a megad.
Okay, sir. All right. Okay, marvelous. Let me let you finish your thoughts, and then we go back to see why Danjuma. Go ahead, please.
You see what I said because that division is there. Even though the division is there, because a house divided by itself can never stand. So that is why these people. That is the reason these people are able to get away with most of these evil things they are doing to Nigerians. So that's because it's good now that what is going on now that is now as in is like everybody is now speaking to the consciousness of every Nigerian. No, we cannot this route. We all have to come back, come together. We have to be seen as one Nigeria for us to be able to push these evil ones out that are causing divisions in this country. Because these people, they use all sorts of propaganda, divisions and every other thing that is in play. Okay, look at the weekend now, something. A person like that guy was supposed to have investigation. They're supposed to have opened an investigation on that guy. For coming out boldly, opening his mouth to say anybody that does not do this, the social set of people will not be allowed to vote. Technically, you're trying to destroy democracy. You're trying to stake people's mandates. There is a trend. They are fundamental human rights. You're trying to take it away from them by force. So that guy that they call himself FFC minister is not supposed to be there. That guy's supposed to be sacked.
Okay, sir.
Look at the about the country. So that's for that. For me, I will also advise the opposition. The playbook which APC used against Jonathan. Why can't the opposition now start going to America, going to Donald Trump, and going to the as in seek an audience with them and go there and speak to them, lay all this, because we all know that Trump doesn't agree with Obama. We all know that Trump and Obama is like a cataract. Anything. Because Obama has a hand for APC coming to power, right? During the last election, Obama that brought APC to power. Obama is involved. So if Trump knows this, he definitely, I believe he knows. He will let them do whatever Obama did. Because he also the right thing must be done in Nigeria, which I believe this should be done. This should be looked into. So that this can go well. Regarding even with this vote now, this electoral bill that has passed, it's a North Grant as well. All the evidence, go there, also seek audience with them, because the APC did it as well. Seek audience with them, and let's see how we can move forward. That's what the part we understand that the Americans are already on ground.
Thank you so much, Marvelous. I appreciate you.
We need to be seeing them doing more now, because I'm even hearing that like you said, that OT is so what's going on? Which means there's not democracy in the country anymore.
All the states. Thank you so much, Marvelous. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Dr. Katch, like Marvelous asked, I know I did ask that question earlier too. Do you think there will likely be any foreign political interference in Nigeria?
There is already. The Americans are already here. So why are you asking such questions? What we should want to do is go and learn how to manage the US entry here.
Okay, so I have a few messages here. Someone says Alex defecting to APC, confirmed terrorist party APC by Canadian government is a wrong move. Politicians defecting to gangsters criminal organization called APC are criminals too. So because Alex Oti wants to defect to APC, that makes him a criminal? Does that make him a criminal, sir?
No. Alex has to take every measure necessary to protect what is going on in Abia State. If it means going to APC, let that be, so that we can secure what's going on.
Okay, sir.
The going to APC is not going to APC because the party is doing well. No. They've told you they will conduct the elections. And they don't want electronic transmission of results. So they can write anything, do anything.
All right. T.Y., are you there? Let me let you put your thoughts, sir.
Yeah, just to sum up, if you look at the bill, the amendment to the 2026 amendment of the electoral, yes, that's been signed by the president, and the speed with which he signed it.
The speed of light, oh.
Yes, and the reversal of the position of the House of Rep.
Yes.
Acquiescing to what the Senate said. Okay? You would see that there is definitely some external pressures that were at work in trying to put this whole thing together and present a particular viewpoint that will ultimately be signed by the president without question and with speed. Now, what I see is that if you look at some of the sections, if you look at some of the subsections of Section 60 that were amended, changed from 2022, from the Electoral Act of 2022, some of them are targeted at some opposition elements, candidates who might emerge, so that even in the process, for instance, the process of selecting who becomes a candidate of your party.
Exactly, the primaries.
So if you look at it very well, you see that it is targeted to ensure a process where the best candidate will not emerge. So it will go back to monetization, which is the process that they're a game that they are very, very familiar with. Now, if you look at, all the other policies, you see that what the APC government is doing is going to be self-destruct. It's going to destroy itself. It's going to be consumed by the trap that it's setting for others. The ADC primaries, APC is very, very interested in who becomes the presidential candidate. The APC is probably happy to have a situation where there's a split, so the votes can be divided.
Yes. So
you can see 3 columns in ADC. I mean, you just heard, for instance, a member of ADC, chieftain in ADC, who said, the president has been my friend for over 30 years.
The thing Vexamo, he's saying don't see a card with the president right now. Say, he know they do again with President Bola.
Yes. But now, no more, no way.
Absolutely.
So you can't be in ADC and you have a soft affection for the president. Now, to come to that conclusion is we've had it here, no more. There's something that is happening. And so what I'm trying to say is that all these forces, all these things, all this plotting, apart from the pressure that is being brought on Peter Obi, lobbying, persuasion, intimidation, going to, because Obi has said once that they have been talking to him. APC has been talking to him. So I'm not surprised when you raise the issue that someone went to Uti to say, can you talk to this guy to see if he can just cool down?
With the errand from here to just keep up, just come on high.
No, but Obi has said, some time ago, that there are pressures on him from the party, on the ruling party, offering him all kinds of things, to calm down, to cool down. So it's not news, because APC is good at that kind of strategy. They are very good in that. But, the thing about Obi is, like I keep saying, that is like, some people look down on him, but I think that man is someone who is also strategic in what he's doing. Some people may not like him because he's not the gra type of person and so on and so forth, but I think that man is someone who, given all the pressures that he has come under, given all the things that they have done to him, he still has managed to be able to think properly and to align, to make sure that he doesn't fall foul of where the authorities will hold him and totally emasculate him. So if you listen to Fayose, he has kept on saying that the only person in ADC is Obi. Whether that is an overstatement or understatement, I don't know, but he's saying that anybody, the only person of consequence, political consequence, that is in ADC is Obi. And largely, if you look at it, if Obi decides to leave ADC, ADC is finished. That's the truth, as a political strategic force or position. So, what is going to happen? That's what I'm saying. That's why this AMAC election becomes a very, very critical point. It's going to make Oma APC or ADC. So it's going to be a fight to finish. Now, unfortunately for Nigeria and the ruling party, there is also the international dimension to this thing, the external dimension to this thing. Eyes are on Nigeria. I can't hear you. You are muted.
I mean, I need to pass this kind of electoral act in the past. And even started by gaslighting Nigerians and saying that this is the best electoral act so far that Nigeria has ever had. And this will determine very few. And they are saying this deliberately so that the media will capture what they're saying. That's what I say. Who are making noise are just minor opposition people.
That's what I'm saying now, that you are lighting the fire that will consume you. What do you want them to do? They are gathering the forces. They are putting all the flammables together that is going to cause an explosion. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And people are seeing you. So what I'm saying is that you now have building up what is going to be a conflagration that is going to consume so many people, because there is no check on utterances. There are no institutions that are guiding what people say. There is all the legal frameworks that should operate when certain things are done have all failed. So you now have a situation where it's God for us all.
And all man for yourself.
Yes. So that is the situation that we are in now. And I end up by saying, in spite of all these things that you think you have captured, you've done everything, you've blocked everywhere, why are you still jittery? It suggests to you that there's something that they know that is making them uncomfortable. That is the thing that they have to deal with, because they are not sleeping with their eyes closed, even as comfortable as they think that they are. They know that there's a real battle to fight with their money, with their power, with their connections, with everything that they have. That's why I said, but unfortunately for them, in all these things put together, there is the external factor which they don't have control over. and don't underrate it.
Which may be insignificant at the end of the day. Which may be insignificant at the end of the day. Remember, say other countries, they also pressurize Nigeria, or pressurize US to come more high for what get to do with Nigeria, especially.
Your sovereignty is gone. Your sovereignty is gone. Your sovereignty is gone. You are dealing with various interests that are competing among themselves. You are dealing with China, you are dealing with France, you are dealing with the US, you are dealing with Turkey, you are dealing with the insurgents themselves.
Okay,
and your institutions don't have the capacity to be able to deal with these things. So your hands are really, I mean, you are hamstringed. You don't have the capacity.
All right, sir. Let me quickly go back to Dr. Katch to react to the things you've said. And while he's reacting to that, let me also ask him, Dr. Katch, do you see the ADC now adopting direct primaries or a consensus candidate based on the new Electoral Act? And what are the chances of a Southern candidate in the ADC if they were to adopt any of them?
That primaries will work against the delegates.
He said the primaries will work against the former other primaries that was delegates based.
Yes, it will work against money bags, because no money bag will have enough to pay people a direct primary.
Okay. All right. So I want.
It will be problem.
Okay, sir.
It will be state by state. The states will vote directly as you're a member of the party. You vote. So, but it's not where you get delegates. And those delegates will come and speak the minds of millions. No. This is where everybody will be part of it. That's why it's called direct primary. Everybody will vote.
All right, sir. So very quickly, I hear that Senator Adudwa in your state,
Abuja,
your city, Abuja, they mandate all students. Them, you know, say that day we can go University of Abuja, go get a long talk. Saying they mandate all the students, they made them vote for APC. In fact, they had even cancelled the election, that they will not participate in the election because of that. But right now, the student union don't call back, say, okay, it looks like they will now participate in the election. What do you think this means? Before I play you that video from the student union group.
You know, this is called vote catchment protocols. They are looking for this bulk caucuses where they think they can purge very good catchment vote. You know, you look for such places where you see votes in surplus numbers concentrated in places, cities, schools, communities. There are places they target. This is when they are doing their own. And I think others have done. But let's see how it goes. This simply means the ruling party want to spend money in desperation not to be disgraced by the P2B-led ADC.
All right, let me quickly play you that video so you take a listen. Not just hear what's in
the National Association of Nigerian Students, JCC FCT chapter, wishes to officially announce that in the spirit of unity, responsibility, and democratic advancement, we are suspending the proposal boycott earlier declared, but because of the swift intervention of our FCT leader, distinguished Senator Philip Tanimu Aduda, through the workaholic President General of the Abuja Resident Youth Association, Comrade Elhaj Akoshile Mukhtar, a lot of intervention came in through our FCT leader, distinguished Senator Philip Aduda, and in respect to all the achievements of Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the workaholic minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, the NAS FCT decided to draw the curtain and halt the proposed boycott that was declared earlier, just because of the respect we have for our leader, distinguished Senator Philip Tenima Aduda, who are going to be the leader of FCT. And the respect and commitment we show to Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all of us will agree with me that we have never gotten it right in this country like now. Mr. President has a lot of achievements that have direct effects on Nigerian students, ranging from the NEL Fund, the most important one, the uninterrupted academic calendar. Mr. President promised that 4 years course will be 4 years course. And I can tell you that since 2023 till now, we have not had anything like ASU strike. So if not because of anything, because of that respect to Mr. President, Nigerian students must follow suit and join the 21st of February area council election. And at the same time, I want to tell you categorically that Nigerian students will come out in mass to vote and appreciate President Bola Ahmed Tinubu by voting the All Progressive Congress from top to bottom. From top to bottom.
All right, though. See why don't you, ma? You hear him? Dr. Katch, sir.
I was looking at the faces. I was looking at the faces of some of the people that you are showing.
We are the praising of President Bola Ahmed that we've never gotten it this good in our country.
Yes.
Let me let you wrap up your thoughts. Let Dr. Katch wrap up his thoughts. At this point, I don't want my mental health to be affected.
I was looking at the faces of some of the students, so-called students who were there, and you could see the reaction of some of them, some smiling, some frowning, and so on and so forth. But the thing that struck me was that he was speaking for the entire students, university students in Abuja, and he's so sure that all of them are going to vote for the president. So he must be a prophet or a seer. That's the appropriate thing to say to the people that, give me 1 minute.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, Dr. Katch, let me quickly let you wrap up while he's trying to put himself together.
So he must be a seer for him to make that prognostication that everybody is going to vote and to speak in such an assuring way that the president will get the votes of. And he called former Senator Aduda their leader.
Yes.
Okay. So and that all of them will vote for APC. That's what he said.
Yes.
So you could see. Yes. So you could see clearly a bias.
I'm telling you,
like some
bias.
Yeah, it speaks like someone who has been bought over. So he cannot represent, his views cannot represent the views of every student in Abuja. Of course, it's impossible. These are people who have been bought to present a particular viewpoint. But for me, that's just a very, very funny facade that doesn't present the reality that's on ground. It will be tested on Saturday, when we see it. But let me say something here as I close. There was a video recently that was shown of some hoodlums in Ondo State who went to sack the meeting of some APC shareholders. I don't know if you saw that video.
Yes, I saw that. I wanted to carry that yesterday. I even got the pictures and all that, but well, you see the way they lift the people, then they put inside police van.
Yes. So it's their own people who were disgruntled that went to drive away, APC shareholders or stakeholders who were having a meeting. This is not opposition. And so you can see that the walls appear to be falling in Ekiti too. There are some movements that you see there. I don't know, there's a video that I watched of also people who are showing disapproval of the current governor, of the state.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, my states, when they don't go like this, go kidnap person, kill their king, go.
Yes. So what I'm saying that to say that the usual pattern is to see APC going to obstruct or drive away ADC people who are meeting either in Lagos or in the north or anywhere. It's been a recurring decimal. But now you're beginning to see APC itself. So an appearance of an implosion even within the party itself. So I'm saying all that to say, all put together again, I'm just maybe repeating myself to say that what we see is really not healthy politics that is going on. It is a politics that will end up with APC beheading itself, even before 2027. I stop there.
All right, thank you so much, Siwa Danjuma. Dr. Katch, sir, let me take your parting shot, sir.
I would say we must stay engaged, all of us. It's not good to
that is make we shine our eye.
We must shine our eye, yes. Stay engaged. Like now, the only way we can say things on Saturday by going down, sitting there, do our accreditation, vote, and if possible, stay to hear the results. Then you come home. That way you defend your vote. That's the way your voices will be heard. Let Wike try what he wants to do, and we will see how Abuja will let him do that. It's not going to work.
Okay.
It won't.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Katch. I appreciate you. Thank you so immensely for joining us. And sincere apologies for the network glitch you experienced. I appreciate your time and effort and patience with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. And so, Nigerians, that's the size of our package today. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who's been part of the show. It's always a pleasure to join you. If you never like this post, go back and like, share, follow us like your village people. Like and share and follow us like your village people. What are you waiting for? All right. Make sure that as many people as possible see this post. I love you guys and I appreciate you greatly. Protect your mental health because it is very, very important. I mean, you need your mental health alert to stay in this country, even if it means staying away from Nigerian news for one day. Unfortunately, for people like us, we cannot. But please protect your mental health. Good night and God bless you. Thank you. Bye.